Green flag and NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying is underway here at Daytona. Getting up to speed, 19-year-old Joey Gase. Back for another go at Daytona, ran here in February for the first time. Remember your first time at Daytona when you buckled in?
Yeah, I actually do. It was whenever they started what was the Busch Series, now the Nationwide Series here in 1982. I was actually, my brother let me start his car here, so I wasn't quite ready with my own team, and it was overwhelming to say the least. I mean, I'd never seen anything this big, and obviously the speeds that you go here at Daytona. It was very intimidating.
Now you will see the standard restrictor plate racing pattern of qualifying, where they'll run the first lap all the way at the top of the racetrack, gathering all the momentum they can, and then hug that yellow line on the second lap around.
Well, they're holding the throttle wide open. They're just trying to get as much momentum as possible. That's why they use that upper lane, just to try to make the track as long as possible. Give them as much time to get to terminal velocity as they can, and then they come down to the bottom and shorten the track up as much as possible. They can actually go below the yellow line qualifying. There's no penalty. I don't think you find any speed there.
No. They normally have these tapered spacers on these cars at other tracks. They have that plus a restrictor plate here, so doing everything they can to get the RPMs up and maximum horsepower.
Big difference between the Nationwide Series car and the Sprint Cup car at Daytona, that big rear spoiler. These cars punch a big hole in the draft, and you will see some great passing in the race later on tonight. In fact, 38 lead changes in the February race, 35 in this race a year ago in just 100 laps.
Yeah, the spoiler plus this asphalt still has a lot of grip. It's still fairly new, and it's just a ton of grip. So those combinations make the drivers feel real confident. They can make a lot of moves and feel that they can get away with it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
That's right. So a little bit better than 169 mile an hour average for Joey Gase. Here's Josh Wise on track in the 42.
We saw a pretty good pickup there. We're going to see most of the time somewhere between 6 and 8/10 of a second between that first and second lap.
Yep.
And that's going to really be mostly how high did they run the first lap? How close to the wall did they go that whole first lap? Because that does cost you a lot of time on the track. You're still building speed, but it does cost you lap time. You can see there's 5 or 6 feet off the wall for Josh coming through there.
And that used to be, even in qualifying, used to be a little bit dicey because the racetrack was really rough up there in that part, especially in turns 3 and 4. But since the repaving, much easier to go up there, and when you're only averaging 170, it's not that bad in getting up there and maximizing that. So we'll see most drivers get right against the wall.
Now, for those of us that are mere mortals, when you're only averaging 170,
but these cars are prepared and made to go much faster than that, which we will see tonight whenever they get in drafting situations of over 190 miles an hour average speed.
I always get a kick out of when people like yourself with a great deal of experience and success at Daytona say, oh, you could go out there and qualify the car here. Are you kidding me? I mean, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If you really thought that were possible, but I think there's a little more to it than.
Yeah, I think even here it's still a little more tricky than a place like Talladega. I think there are a lot of people that could get in a car at Talladega because it's so wide and smooth there. But this is still a little more tricky.
171.5 mile an hour average for Josh Wise here at Daytona, qualifying just underway. That will take time. Latest to run, Chase Miller in the 46. You see rolling back around on his cool down, 171.093 miles an hour for Chase Miller. Not allowed to add fuel to the cars. It is a warm day, so you're going to want to shut it down.
Qualifying the shows, which we do today, and then you got to go out there and try and put on a big show for all the Earnhardt fans that my grandfather and Dale Jr. and my dad have built such a big name here at the Daytona Speedway. So there's a lot of pressure in both situations, and to experience them both is just more help for me.
Yeah, Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. have combined for 47 wins here. Talk about your favorite memory. I guess I can guess what that is growing up.
Yeah, my favorite memory is probably just seeing my grandfather win the 500. It was it was always a big dream of his. It was that one race he really wanted to get, and when he finally won that, that was a special moment for our whole entire family. It was really cool to see him get that win. That's probably my favorite memory of Daytona.
Hey, good luck today. Good to have you here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jeffrey Earnhardt. And by the way, he was 9 years old, sitting at home, jumping on the sofa when he saw Grandpa Dale Earnhardt Sr. win that 500.
That's a great day, Doc, here at Daytona. Stephen Leicht, checkered flag, second on the board. Jumping into this 47 car for Daytona, 171.6 miles an hour for Stephen.
After watching that video of Jeffrey Earnhardt in the ring, I
Always
believe he
enjoyed
got the
this
last.
style of racing at these restrictor plate tracks. It's like he's got a reasonably fast car for tonight.
Yep. And his teammate on track now, driving the 10 car, the former series champ, Jeff Green.
Jeff Green's got 23 pole positions in this series. Tied for 6th all time with, I guess, Kyle Busch.
That wasn't who I was going to say. You got me.
I don't get you very often.
Also won the pole for the Daytona 500.
That's right, he did.
And in the world of qualifying, the way it's conducted these days, of course, the car's running in inverse order of speeds that they set in practice. So as each car runs, he should give pole position a run for it. And Jeff Green tracking just a little faster than Eric McClure.
Well, that's right, and especially at other tracks where practice really is a reflection on how fast you go. Here, a lot of these practice sessions, matter of fact, all the laps were in drafting configurations. That may not be the case as a rule because some of these cars can put down fast laps and may not be faster than some cars that maybe just didn't get as good a draft or as good a pull. But right now, it is holding true that everybody's breaking is breaking into the pole.
Yeah, Jeff Green, 174.490 miles an hour. And Jeff Green, the new leader in Nationwide Series qualifying. Yep,
That's always fun. He's exciting to watch.
Mike Harmon on track in the 74.
Got the appropriate paint scheme for this weekend.
Yes,
Red,
he
white,
does.
Blue.
You'll see a lot of that around the racetrack, on the cars. The windshield banners from the sponsor Nationwide Insurance, all red, white, and blue. The NASCAR promotional campaign, NASCAR Unites, supporting families of military members who are serving or have served. Have a lot of small touches here tonight as well, like the flag that's flying over the fan zone in the infield, just brought back to the racetrack from flying over the USS Eisenhower when it deployed from Norfolk, Virginia for an overseas tour. Mike Harmon, one of those guys that's been around for a while and working hard to keep his team on the track and be at all the races and get a chance to compete and do what he enjoys best, which is driving these race cars at high speed. Second lap for Mike a little bit faster. It's going to put him 12th out of the 17 that have gone to this point. Brian Scott, number 11, top of the board, Dave.